Yo, what's going on everybody? It's your boy Naruto Explain here, bringing you guys another Boruto 2 Blue Vortex discussion. Today, I want to switch things up and I want to talk to you guys about why we need to have a very serious discussion about the prospect of Himawari getting an upgrade in her ninja training as we move into the Boruto 2 Blue Vortex story, and why it's not crazy as you think that Sakura is the best one suited to assist in Himawari's training, and why one scene that we saw in the last chapter is more important than you might think, which is why in today's newest Naruto Explain video, we're going to be taking a look at why Himawari should train under Sakura, why it's a better idea narratively than you might have given serious consideration for, why Himawari training under Sakura makes her the right candidate to be the first person in history to fully summon all of Katsuyu's body, which has never been done before, as well as the impact of what a byakugou seal could do for Himawari now that she's got both halves of Kurama's chakra. So back in chapter 14 of Boruto 2 Blue Vortex, there was this moment where we saw Sakura and she's healing Inojin, where her words, they stood out to me immediately as she was looking over Inojin's body, but also Himawari's reaction, that grabbed my attention as well. So in the chapter, as Sakura is looking over Inojin's body, she had a moment where she states that she was stunned to see that Inojin's body had been healed to the extent that it had been, to the point she couldn't even tell that the guy had been critically injured before and that he was on the verge of death. Coming from someone as skilled as Sakura, that is extremely high praise for someone like Himawari, who that was her first time healing somebody, let alone somebody who was on the brink of death before that, particularly using the Nine-Tails chakra, that being her first time using that. Yet as we would learn, Himawari, while she did do a good job, it was very far from perfect, and most importantly, it showed that Himawari is not going to be positioned as some Mary Sue type character that you have some idiots claiming, because we're in an age where people throw out words regardless of their meaning. Dictionary people use it. Here with Himawari, we saw that there was some room for improvement for, because if she's a Mary Sue, she would not have room for improvement, because she, in short, hadn't finished the job when healing Inojin because she was inexperienced and she was untrained in something such as healing, even with her using the Nine-Tails chakra and having a higher affinity for it than Naruto, Kushina, or even Mito, which by extension means that her ceiling is a lot higher than any of us had previously expected. This, of course, lines up what Kurama said about Himawari, which is that she had all this potential, but she isn't someone who has the proper training to control this power, and her potential alone, it isn't enough for her to just skate by on it. Again, a Mary Sue would just skate by on it. It's the story directly telling us that despite this power she got, she's not going to be positioned as a Mary Sue. What increases she gets, Himawari, for all intents and purposes, she's going to have to work in order to build on that awakened power and skill of hers. She'll just improve rapidly in that regard because she has a higher affinity. She couldn't defeat Jura. He was just toying with her the whole time, only using enough power to keep her alive so that he could keep testing out his powers, like when he was shooting these little mini Bijudama as bite-sized bullets at her to see how quickly she could regenerate, but also in testing out the control of the Bijudama, which by extension we see that carry over in how Jura is now able to shoot a Bijudama sniper at Boruto from what should have been an impossible distance. Jura has grown, and now it's incumbent upon Himawari to grow as well, because they are positioned as two sides of the same coin. On one hand, you have one that is the Ten-Tails. On the other hand, you have one that is a merger of the Nine-Tails and her own consciousness. They are the same, and yet by extension, even though Himawari's power comes from a different Ten-Tails, they are linked together due to what each of them are in terms of that tail beast tree. Even though they aren't directly connected, Himawari's growth is upon us, and that's what makes us have to take a closer look at Sakura. In the chapter, Himawari made the same astonished and amazed and relieved face at Sakura as she was fixing the flow in Inojin's chakra pathway system and resetting his Tenketsu. She looked at Sakura the same way that Sakura looked at Tsunade the first time she saw her do what was deemed as the impossible when she saved Sasuke and Kakashi. Both Himawari and Sakura, at the age of 13, ironically, watched as an older and more experienced Kunoichi was able to do something that everyone had written off as being impossible. Sasuke and Kakashi, they were viewed as being beyond the help of any medical ninja in Konoha, yet Tsunade, she worked her magic and all was well suddenly. Inojin, now he was healed but unconscious and unresponsive, yet here was Sakura chakra, resetting the Tenketsu and the damage it's done to its chakra pathway system, something that is beyond the skill of a normal medical shinobi. In both cases, she had a young 13-year-old girl with dormant talent that was watching, and I don't think this was a mistake, and here's the reason why. Himawari has shown that she wants to grow stronger, specifically to help people, to assist people. Going all the way back to Boruto Part 1, she was shown wanting to become a ninja specifically so she could assist Boruto, making a worried face when she listened to Hinata break down into tears while saying she was worried that Boruto get killed again, the worst fear of a mother. And in that moment, it was Hinata the mother and not Hinata the shinobi who was speaking, and Himawari, she saw and heard all of that, as well as the burden that her brother had to carry on his shoulders. He was the one who was only 2 years older than her, yet he had the responsibility that should be carried by a hardened adult. In a perfect world, adults, they should protect children, yet here, her 12-year-old brother was protecting not just his 10-year-old sister, but also his 33-year-old mother and the entire ninja world with the decisions that he was making, and Himawari, being the kind soul that she is, wanted to be of use to Boruto, to support Boruto. Yet in that moment, she could do nothing but watch from the sidelines and leave the rest up to her brother. She mirrors Sakura a lot in that regard. In the Naruto manga, Sakura was unable to stop Sasuke from leaving and unable to assist in the Sasuke retrieval mission. She had to wait on the sidelines despite her own desire to set things right. Like Himawari, Sakura lacked both the power and the skill to do anything, though in Himawari's case she had power but not enough of it. Himawari, she had some training but not enough to stand beside her brother to support. Sakura, her genjutsu skill was praised by both Sasuke and Kakashi. High remarks from two people who have the Sharingan and access to the advanced Sharingan genjutsu from the Eye of Hypnotism, and even she had the best control of Team 7 to the point where Tsunade flat out calls her a prodigy when it comes to chakra control as she watches her train, noting how Sakura's growth in chakra control and applying it to medical ninjutsu as fast as she did for that 3 months of training was much faster than normal, even faster than her student Shizune, who was one of the top medical talents in the ninja world itself. She had all that, yet she couldn't do anything. Himawari took the loss of her parents and the belief that Boruto killed Naruto, even though deep down in her heart, even though her memory was that of Boruto not being her brother because she thinks that Kawaki is her brother, something deep inside of her told her that Boruto was innocent of the crime that he was charged with, and it was largely due to her memory being of Boruto saving Naruto and herself during the Delta fight, even though we as the audience know it was really Kawaki. The point, however, is that Himawari, she kept training with Team 10 throughout the time skip because she wanted to support both of her brothers. Kawaki, the guy who her memory says is her biological brother, and Boruto, the guy who her memory says is her adopted brother. It's the same with Sakura. Seeing Naruto beaten up and hearing that all of the shinobi who went after Sasuke sustained major injuries, though Shikamaru just had a broken finger, it caused her to seek out Tsunade to explore medical ninjutsu training instead of continuing to work with Kakashi on her natural talent for genjutsu, because she saw that there was a better way to be of support. Himawari, right now, she's been given another offer and another opportunity to serve as support. The offer hasn't been verbally made, but narratively it is there. But unlike Sakura, who spent the majority of her time training, doing chakra control and medical ninjutsu training and byakugou seal training, her battle training with Tsunade, it really came after the fact. It was a secondary notion. Tsunade knew she needed to beef her up in taijutsu, but that was not their primary focus for Sakura growing stronger. This time, it is different for Himawari. It is very different for Himawari. She is in a position where she has the raw power needed to assist in combat on a regular basis. She has the aptitude for it given who both of her parents are, but she is also in a position to assist via her large chakra reserves when it comes to healing others, but she has the issue of not having the complete skill, and that's why Sakura is uniquely set up to help her in this area. Himawari is someone who is a Hyuga and carries the Byakugan Eye and also has the Nine Tails chakra, the full Nine Tails, which when combined with medical ninjutsu, it makes her very uniquely positioned to be of great use here, because she can use the Byakugan in combination with the master chakra of the Nine Tails and the medical ninjutsu training. That will make her positioned to surpass both Tsunade and Sakura in that regard, because the Byakugan, it eliminates factors that Sakura and Tsunade would have to deal with. For as good as they are, they can't see internal organs the way that the Byakugan can, which means they're flying blind when it comes to some of their treatments. But as we saw in the war arc, with Hinata, her Byakugan can see Naruto's heart, as well as the chakra node above it and the chakra pathway tubes that were around it. That is invaluable insight for someone who is a medical ninja, and most importantly, that massive tank of chakra makes the amount of healing she can do be on a completely different level. Training under Sakura would mean a summoning contract with Katsuyu and the chance for us to finally see something that has never been done before, which is the full summoning of Katsuyu, who is linked to the chakra of the user directly. We saw what Tsunade was able to do without the full summoning. Tsunade by herself couldn't even summon 1/10 of Katsuyu. She was able to protect thousands of people in the Hidden Leaf Village from the full-on attack from the Deva Path, which, for as iconic as that moment is, it gets severely downplayed by fans because it was more than just the Deva Path's chakra. Anyone saying that, which there are a lot of people still in 2024 saying that Tsunade got taken out by one pain, therefore Tsunade ain't ish. You're very disingenuous, because that was the Deva Path, who is charged up on the collective chakra of all 6 paths of pain. Every bit of chakra that Nagato placed into them, and Tsunade tanked it and was still able to protect thousands of people as a result, and even while unconscious still maintain Katsuyu, because Katsuyu is directly linked to Tsunade's chakra. It was not one pain took out Tsunade in the way that people are saying. Sakura and Tsunade working together were able to only summon 1/10 of Katsuyu's body. Let me restate that. 2 byakugou seal users combining their chakra could only summon 1/10 of Katsuyu's body. Imagine what someone who has both halves of Kurama's chakra could do. We might potentially see the entire body of Katsuyu summoned, which means the amount of healing that she could do and the damage that she could do in combat. It is insane, because even though Katsuyu is used primarily for defensive and healing purposes, she does have offensive attacks that can be used, and given her power is directly linked to the chakra of the person that is summoning her, it makes Himawari more than someone who is in a support role, but she is uniquely positioned to be effective in battle as well. Taking it a step further, given she's a Hyuga and she already has shown crazy chakra control, it's not out the realm of possibility that she could learn the byakugou seal and undergo that training, and that's where this gets dangerous. That's literally someone who has both halves of Kurama's chakra, potentially Baryon mode's chakra, since that's what Kurama died with, who can store chakra at a higher rate daily inside of that seal. Look at what that did for Sakura. She had prodigy level chakra control, but her reserves at the start of the series, they were only average. While chakra levels, they can be increased through a combination of mental training, some meditation, and physical training. In Sakura's chakra levels, they did increase throughout the series. However, we saw how much of a boom that the chakra of the byakugou seal gave to Sakura after storing it daily for 4 years. She went from in base in the war arc, in the early war arc, of being in that funky space where she's in the tier of the Edo Tensei 7 ninja swordsman that Kakashi took down, to her full power with all of the byakugou seal unleashed. It is confirmed as being higher than 1/3 of Naruto, who had the 3 falling power-ups, which people make the mistake of lumping all together as one power. These are 3 separate powers. The 6 paths Yang seal, which is Hagoromo's Yang chakra, which allowed Naruto to heal Kakashi's eye and stop Guy from dying from the 8th gate and perform the 6 paths Shibaku Tensei. That's what the Yang seal does. 6 paths Sage mode is the amped up Sage mode that Hagoromo gives Naruto. Toad slats, fox slits, no pigment rings around the eyes. It bypasses all the limitations that Sage Mode has. And with 6 paths power, which is the power the 9 Biju use simultaneously, that's where you get true seeking orbs and flight, etc. So 1/3 of that Naruto, that is extremely cracked. And to be above 1/3 of that, that says something. Now, we don't know how long Boruto 2 Blue Vortex is going to span in universe, but based on the information we know from Studio Pierrot's character sheet from Boruto episode 1, the Boruto who fights Kawaki, that Boruto, he's 16 years old. Right now, Boruto is 15. So we at least have in universe 1 year of minimum time. If it becomes 18 months in the way that Naruto Part 2 was, which is a reminder, it was a 2.5-year time skip between Naruto Part 1 and Part 2. Not 3 years like people incorrectly say. Not 3 years like the timeline videos I've watched have said. And there is a 6-month time skip between the Tenchi Bridge arc when Sasuke fought Team 7 when Sasuke killed Orochimaru. I'll further break down the timeline in that Ultimate Naruto timeline video, hyping that up now several months in advance. Like we did the 2.5-hour Boruto video, which those of you guys who watched that one, you know it was worth the wait. The editor absolutely killed it. And the same's gonna be the case with this one, because this is a very long video and it is clearing up some of the mistakes I've seen in 3 very popular Naruto timeline videos that have some rather interesting mistakes. So look forward to that one. That will be on Patreon in advance, but it's gonna take several months to do. So I say that to say this. Imagine what Himawari could do if she even had 1 year of storing chakra inside her seal, assuming of course she has the high chakra control that's needed to go beyond perfect chakra control to master, something that not even someone with perfect chakra control like Tsunade could do. This does raise the question of how cracked Himawari could get if she learned the byakugou seal. I'll say this, Sakura is also the only one amongst the original Team 7 who is not taking on a student officially. Naruto took on Kawaki, which boy did that backfire. Sasuke took on Boruto, which that is a work in progress. Sakura doesn't have anyone who's an official student right now. While sorry that sounds like a dream come true, the idea of both of Naruto's teammates training his 2 children, Sasuke training Boruto, Sakura training Himawari, that sounds too poetic to pass up. Just as the final chapter of Jujutsu Kaisen is poetic when you get outside the echo chamber of people trashing it, which my review for the final chapter over on Anime Explained is on the left, and over here on the right, we got another Boruto video.